Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm good, Eric. How are you?
Doing great, man. Thank you so much for your time. So I read that this was a project that you were really passionate about making back in 2020. Of course, the pandemic was still somewhat new and especially scary around those times. What was it about this particular project that made it, making it such a necessity for you?
Well, I've been developing the script for a couple of years, and during that process, I'd been aware of how culturally we had started to focus in our differences rather than our similarities. I wanted to make a film about about embracing our otherness, about embracing each other really, and what makes us special and unique. And then the pandemic happened, and and I found that we were starved of human connection, and I wanted to make a film that was about human connection and how important that is.
I asked Haley about this and, talking about shooting where you were in Sicily, you guys were in this sort of bubble. And she said it made the work almost kind of feel more important because you were really just working and then going home, no hanging out, no having fun. What was your perspective of those working conditions?
Yeah, it was interesting. It created a kind of atmosphere of sort of a defiant need to make something beautiful in the context of the bleak circumstances that the world was facing.
When you're shooting a musical sequence, how do you approach it? I mean, do you approach it in a similar way you would, an action sequence or a standard sequence, or are there different factors to take into account?
Yeah, I mean, there's some different factors, but really you're trying to achieve a level of truth and authenticity. You're trying to tell a story as excitingly and as honestly as possible. But certainly you're working within a very kind of predetermined frame. You can't kind of extend pauses, or you've got the music and you've got to work to that. But that kind of those kind of constraints were quite interesting to work within.
And I was reading that you wanted to record all the singing on location as opposed to doing it afterward in a studio.
Yeah.
What are the challenges of doing that, and what are the benefits?
Well, really, I think it's most challenging for the actors, for the performers. Because if they were in a studio, they'd just be focusing on their singing, and here they had to focus on the whole performance. But that was what I found interesting, what that performance would bring to the vocalization, and to embrace the imperfections, because in a way the film is about embracing imperfections. So to embrace the imperfections, because that's where I think our humanity lies rather than in our perfections.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate your time, and congrats on the film.
Thank you very much.
He's here.
Cyrano?
Cyrano.
Pleasure to meet you, Cyrano de Bergerac.
You're a freak. Freak.
My dearest friend, I'd be very angry with you if you died.
My sole purpose on this earth is to love Roxanne.
Does she know?
The world will never accept someone like me and a tall, beautiful woman.
We have no money. A clever marriage is your only option.
I won't be rescued. I'm not in distress. Love, does that mean nothing to you?
Children need love. Adults need money.
I need something to die for, write poems and cry for, and I won't be ashamed. I'd give anything for someone to say that they can't live without me, and they'll be there forever.
I have a confession to make. I am madly in love,
Perhaps he feels the same.
but I've never actually spoken to him
Of your love?
of anything. He is Christian Yuvalet. He's a new recruit in your regiment.
Of course he is.
A woman like Roxanne wants wit, romance, poetry. I don't know how to speak romantically.
I am a poet. My words upon your lips. I will make you romantic. Will you make me handsome?
She lost me! I give anything for someone to say all the words I don't have and I can put together. I give anything.
Speak to me like you do in your letters.
You are a beautiful flower.
I am not a flower. I need more.
I can think about and I can't live without her. I give anything. You're in love with her. Someone to say.
My fate is to love her from afar.
We must let her decide our fate. She must have the choice.